All right, my friends, and here is the next response to a question I received to one of the videos I did. And the question is especially about the Rule Engine Dictionary note. So let me just share the question with you guys. Carolina asked below my Rule Engine video, "Hello, thank you for the video, it was very helpful. Can you please explain about Rule Engine Dictionary note? I'm having some hard times with it. I couldn't find a video about it and it would be very nice. Thank you again." So what I basically did is I created this example workflow, and you can also find it on the KNIME Hub. I link the KNIME Hub place in the description below this video. So basically what you do, you see the rule engine has two input ports. So let me just quickly show you the two tables that we have. On the one hand side, we have a standard procurement table, which I always use, right? It has some procurement data like values and places and so on and so forth. And the second one is basically your dictionary. So it is a table, and this case done with a table creator, but you could also do it in Excel or import a CSV or whatever. What is important here is that you follow the grammar, how KNIME rules are written. So for example, if you look here, I have basically two columns, and I have labeled the first column rule and the second column result. So you see the rule is written exactly as it would be written in a normal rule engine node. So why don't you do it in a rule engine node? Well, the thing is that can become a little bit cumbersome because I only have 5 rules in here. And yes, I could have also done this in the rule engine node. However, this one can hold, of course, much more. And you can basically really list a long list of things here. For example, when you're working with words, with languages, maybe sometimes you want to replace something. One thing, for example, you could do if you would manage something with text, you could exchange swear words with asterisks or something. So you would have a long dictionary here of swear words, of unpleasant words, and the result would always be like star, 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 or hashtag, 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 or something like this. Yes, of course, you also could do this in a normal rule engine, but that gets really hard to maintain. And the big advantage of an approach like this, working with the table, is, of course, before or afterwards, you can adjust the table. You can write to a table. You can write results to a table, which I have not done here, but basically it will be quite difficult to exchange a certain part of a rule in the rule engine. But of course, in the rule engine dictionary, I could say, okay, if the words in the column result are above 200K, I could replace that with above 200K USD, for example, if we want to change that. Something like this. So it's quite versatile that you have a table here. And as you see, I have the rules here. Also, one thing to remember is the KNIME Rule Engine Dictionary node goes through the rules in order of appearance, meaning from top to bottom. Whatever applies first is what is set. What does that mean? If you see row 1 and row 2 here, you see I say PO value greater than 100,000 and planned city is in this list, Dresden, Biederitz. Then write the result German above 100K. So basically the second column is the then, and we'll see the nomenclature in the Rule Engine Dictionary note in a moment. The second row reads PO value greater than 100,000. So specific goes before generic here, so to say. That means if I would have this vice versa, all of these nodes that I want to have labeled with German because these cities or the plants are in Germany, would also be labeled 100K because it would go through this rule, would say, okay, it's greater than 100,000. Yeah, it matches. I end. I go to the next line item in the list. And that's basically how it works. So once again, specific goes before generic here. So, and basically I have a results column, and that's what I'm going to write. So let's just quickly dive into the Rule Engine Dictionary node. And here I basically say, so the Rule Engine Dictionary always comes in at the lower input part here, whereas the main table, if you want to call it that way, comes in at the top input node. And here's basically what I say. Okay, I say, where do I find the rules? And then you see this little equals and greater than sign, this little arrow that you also know from the standard rule engine. Basically what I say is check this rule and then write this result. So that's quite important. I also say treat values starting with dollars as references, because in our rules that we have set up, the dollars are basically the indicators of the columns. And I want to append a new column here, and the new column is category or whatever I want to do with it. And the result then looks like this. So now, as you can see here, for example, I have this one, right? I have a value of 165,000, and I have a city out of the list of 2 that we had, so it's German above 100K. Question: why is this one not German above 100K? If you look at the value, you might recognize that remember that the first rule was, is it above 200K? And it looked at the value and said, yeah, it is. It stopped. It didn't execute on the next value. Therefore, it is important how you structure your rules in your dictionary. At the end, it's the same as in a normal dictionary with words, right? I mean, alphabetical is a system of sorting entries in a dictionary, and that makes sense because otherwise it would be all over the place. All right, so I hope this answers your question. Let me know if you like it. Maybe you want to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.